So, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It's a little bit late. I'm sure I'm getting texts all morning. Where's the video? It's taking so long. I know, it's on me. But we're in Boynton Beach, and it is raining. It's raining in Florida, actually. This past week, I was in Boise, Idaho, and last night I flew into Boynton Beach. And my wife says, "Oh, there's a storm in Boynton Beach. It's raining." So, got to the airport last night and got from Boise to Atlanta, and there's a plane delay. And I said, "Oh, I heard there's a storm." And they look at me and they go, "It's always a storm in Florida. It's always raining." And I'm like, "Oops." Well, Israeli thinking, it rains in the summer, it's a big deal. But in Florida, that's not a reason why they stopped the flights. Turns out the flight attendant didn't show up or something. So, either way, so two parshas, pretty exciting. Although it's like the longest parshas, maasei. It's like hundreds of psukim, so it's gonna be a long day tomorrow. So bring a coffee, bring a newspaper. A lot of interesting topics. We close out Bamidbar, my favorite sefer. Bamidbar closes out all the travels, and it's 42 places. And Rashi has a few places, and Mefarshim talk about a few places. Some of them we know of, but a good chunk of them we never have any idea what they were, what the purpose was, and we really don't have a lot of insight. And the few places, the 40 years, the 42 places, 9 places we know of that something happened, good or bad. Most places we really don't know. And a famous, 25 Chashmona, 25th Kislev is Hanukkah, Chashmona. Okay, there's pieces there. Kivsa Taivo we heard of, Midbar Sin we heard of, some places we heard of. But the question is, what's so important? What's the purpose of having these places? What's Yisrael, we're done. What's the purpose of bringing back 42 places that they've traveled? What's the purpose of this? And B, most people weren't there. Most of the people, almost all the people, died out. So the people that can recall all these 42 places weren't there. And the people that were there either weren't born or they don't remember it. So what's the purpose of bringing these things out? So a lot of different mafarshim on this. But one of the interesting pieces that I kind of enjoy, that I bring out, is every place you go to, it's part of you. It's something to you, and you learn from it. Whether you're trying to uncover some of the tzotzos in the Kabbalah circles, the hidden kedusha in these places that all the Hasidic people talk about, that you have to reveal the kedusha in a certain place. So Chabad is all over the world trying to reveal the kedusha of these places and these holy sparks people talk about. But on another level, like Rashi mentions, that the mashal is the king takes the son to the doctor, and after he's healed, he recalls all the places that they came along the way. And really, every place you go to is a part of you. It's really a part of you. I do enjoy, one of the things is I'm not good with names anymore, but places I'm good at. So when my son or my daughter brings someone to the house, I don't know their names anymore. I just know they're from. Moshe's friend Ari Shapiro, I think. I call him Southfield. Why? I only know one person from Southfield, really. Southfield, Michigan. And the other's friend is Chicago. You have Atlanta. You have California. Last week, dude says he's from Napa. So I like to kind of remember places that I've been to, and that stick out in my mind. And that when you leave the place, you just don't leave the place. You get on the airport and you're done with that project, done with that city. I try to find something that I really learned and to move forward, to be part of me. One of the best stories is Atlanta. So I really enjoy Atlanta. They're very friendly and they're very warm people. And maybe 10 years ago, I was there, and Stevie Eben was there. My good friend Stevie Eben was there, and just random thing. I was on a project at Greensboro, happened to be in Atlanta for Shabbos, and he was driving down to Florida with his family. They stopped in Atlanta. They heard it. Okay. I said, you're really going to enjoy it. It's a really nice place. Okay, fine. The next day, he says to me, the kids were shocked. He goes, everyone is inviting them for meals, come for Kiddush, so warm. I'm like, Atlanta's special for that. They have beginner minyanim, they have Baal Tshuva minyanim, they have community kollel. It was a special place. So each place I go to, I try to pick out a little bit of something that I can kind of learn from. San Jose, for example, small shul, but about a quarter of the whole community, they're there before davening, learning, saying Tehillim, something special about that community. In Oak Park in Michigan, the very also first day I walked in, the guy said, welcome. So these little things you kind of pick up from different places. So it's not just a random thing that the 42 places. Each place is something to there. And it's not just the people in Mitzrayim, but all of us. In about a week and change, we'll be, unfortunately, if we don't the new Beis Hamikdash, we'll be talking about the Churban, but also these places in Europe, Worms, Spires, Maine. Like, what's the purpose of this? And the purpose is that's us. All these experiences, all these places that we've been to is a part of us. It's part of our psyche. It's part of our culture. And to kind of learn what took place and how we can grow from it. And hopefully don't make those mistakes again. We have the second Beis Hamikdash was destroyed because of sinas chinam. And the Kli Yakar says that if we would fix that, we wouldn't be in the situation now. So that's kind of, if that was fixed, we'd be back to the Beis Hamikdash. And that's something that I think, unfortunately, we have. I mean, on one side, I'm happy not to be in Eretz Yisrael now. Don't tell anyone there. Is that all the protests? It's not my face. It's not really my face. I don't have to hear about it all day. But it's very worrisome. The two sides are arguing, and literally, it's there's thousands of people protesting almost every Shabbos, every Sunday, closing down the airports, closing down the streets of Yerushalayim. It's pretty sad that there's the sinas chinam, people hating, not sinas chinam, but there's definitely hatred that takes place, and unfortunately, we have to go through another Tisha B'av, it looks like, because we haven't fixed ourselves. Forget about the Goyim and things like that, and we have to kind of go to these places, and no matter where we are, whether Eretz Yisrael, whatever it is, and see if we make shalom as best we can. This past week I was in Boise, Idaho, and I landed on Sunday, and I had really nothing to do. I went to this birds of prey preservation, something outside of Boise, Idaho, and a woman said, "Oh, I couldn't help notice you wearing your kippah." And I said, "Yeah, well." She goes, "Oh, I'm Jewish. I've been with Chabad here. It's so nice to meet you. My name is..." So, again, a little bit of shalom. Also in Boise, Idaho, people are very friendly. And when you bicycle on the road, you're supposed to, you wait in Israel, goes down the highway, on the road, you wave, you nod. Here in Boise, when you're bicycling, people really just don't nod. They say, "Oh, good afternoon, hello." They're very friendly. So one of the things about Boise, Idaho, very friendly. Each place you go to, you kind of want to, being a part of. There's a reason why Hashem put you there. The famous story of the second Lubavitcher Rebbe, as he was leaving the prison, he stopped a second, and they said, "Don't you want to leave prison?" He says, "No, I was here. I learned all the Mishnayos Baal Peh, reviewed it in my head without svarim." So he gained something, and we can't always be in the place where we want to be. Sometimes we're not always in our home in Eretz Yisrael, or not in Brook, whatever we are. Sometimes we're not there. We're in other places, and to kind of accept that we're there for a reason, to grow. So this past week I didn't have a minyan, didn't see really any Jews except for Sabrina at the Birds of Prey. Didn't see any Jews, I don't think, the whole week. But as far as being nice to people and being a Kiddush Hashem, try to bring shalom to place, even if you can't be in your place, Hashem puts you in a certain place to learn from and to grow from. So with that in mind, Shabbat Shalom from Boynton Beach.